Alright guys, hello. We're down to the last of my, well maybe not the last, but another tutorial using triangles to make triquetras. So the last tutorial I did, we used a equilateral triangle to create a triquetra that's equal on all sides, right? But today we're going to use a right angle triangle, and we're going to create something that's a little bit more skewed for using in corners. So if you envision that this is the corner of your border, and then you can have a design going off in either direction to form like a frame on a border. And this is kind of like the beginning of it. This is the corner part of it, right? So let's get started. Now, to draw this right triangle, you can use, something like this, like an L square, or you can use a T square, or you can just use a folded piece of paper, because it has that right angle already built into it. So you can take a folded piece of paper and you can draw your lines that way, and that would be your corner, and then you just connect the sides. And for this kind of a tutorial, this kind of a drawing practice, it doesn't really matter how long either side is. One side can be longer than the other. It doesn't matter. It's all up to your imagination. Like for this one, I did this side was definitely shorter than that side. You can see that. This one we're going to do today is a little bit more even, but it's still the same principle. All right, so before we do anything, after we've drawn our triangle and we have our right angle triangle, we sort of need to find the middle of the triangle. Now, I did a tutorial already because I didn't want to make this a long video of how to find the center of a triangle. I'll leave that in the comment section below so you can find that, or you can find it in my playlist. So, but the general idea is to find a midpoint of each line of your triangle, and you can do that by finding the center of a line segment, which I also have a tutorial for that in my playlist. And then once you have the midpoint for each of the three lines, you simply take the corner and match it up with the opposite line, the midpoint for the opposite line, and you do that for all three corners. Where they intersect in the center is the center of your triangle. So again, if you need to look at that a little bit slower, I do have a video on that, and I have a blog on it. So you can find that in my playlist, and I'll try and leave a link in the comments below. All right, so let's get started. I already found the center of this triangle. I was trying to save a little bit of time. So I already found the center of the triangle using the technique I just showed you. Now we're going to create the loops for the triangle. Now, the reason why we find the center is because these arcs that we're going to draw are going to go around the center. That's going to be kind of our guide. There's the first loop, goes around. Now the second loop is going to be this way, and it's going to be sort of lopsided, because this side, it's going to be sort of more lumpy, if you will, on this side, and then more elongated on that side, because it's the way that it's going to have to curve. Right, so it's going to have to curve like this to go around that X. But then when it goes this way, it'll be a longer part of the arc, right? So it's sort of a lopsided arc. And you're going to do the same thing. It's going to be the same way here. And now how lopsided your triquetra loops are will depend on how short or how long your sides are. Let me fix this a little bit because that's not quite right. All right, so we would go into the corner. All right, now we're into the corner. We have our triquetra. We have the base of our triquetra. We're going to erase the triangle because we don't need it. Unless you're incorporating it into your design, then you can leave it. Sometimes I do that, and that would be interesting to incorporate at least these lines maybe sometimes into your design. Create a nice corner border with a knot going into it, with a triquetra knot going into it. That's really cool. I'm going to erase this here, this X, because I don't need that either. All right, so you can see what we have left. Now we have some decisions to make here. We need to create the thread. So in order to do that, we need offset lines. So you can offset in the center of these lines. But be aware that this section here is where everything's sort of intersecting, and you want some space here. You want a hole. You want some place for things to breathe. So probably the best bet for this is to do it on the outside. I'm not going to worry too much about styling it. I'll do that later. And then we're going to do that for each loop. We just want to have an offset line. And you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. I'm just going with thin right now because I think it might show up easier. And my lines are wobbly. If I was doing this as an art piece, I would definitely be taking my time here. But this is not an art piece. This is just a diagram for you. Okay, so there we go. We have a basic triquetra, and I think I would like to add a whole nother section to it, but first, before that, I'm going to do my overs and unders. So I think I'm going to pick a spot. I want you to pick a spot, you stick with it. So this thread is going to go over that thread, and then it's going to go under this next one. And then you follow the thread around, and it's going to go over this one. And then back where we started, it's under. I think I want to do another one. And again, I'm doing this quick, so it's not as neat as it could be. And I'm thinking because I think I want to do fancy because this one went over. I'm going to make this thread go under. And because this thread went under, I'm going to make this thread go over. Now let's keep going. All right. Let's do this side. I'll clean up the corners. I'll get them stylized in a minute. I just kind of want to get this part of it done first. All right, since this went under, we're going to make this go over. All right, now it's going to go under that one and over this one. How complicated is that, right? So just to kind of give me a minute to finish this side, and I will show you. I'll exaggerate these overlaps for you to see, so you can see the overlaps. Right? All right, now we have to do this side. I'm going to draw the loop first, and then I'll do the overs and unders. All right. This one over, I'm going to take this under, but it's going to go over this one. And we have to add the line on this side because this is a thread. So I'm just doing that so you can see it. And I'm just doing this to show you like the possibilities, right? All right, so it went over this one, it's going to go under this one, and it's going to go over this one. And this is just about visualizing. Just so you can see. All right. So now you can see where everything is overlapping. This is the fun part, like trying to figure out how to make these more complex. The multiple threads that go over and under each other. This can be a really fun thing to do if you're looking to play around. But see how it makes like a really complex pattern in the center. I'm starting to enjoy doing that. All right, now let's stylize these corners a bit. Okay. And again, this was just a one technique for how to draw a triquetra using a right angle triangle, which makes it perfect for using in designs in the corners of things. I had somebody ask me a while back about how to create stuff for corners, and this is one way to fill in a corner. If you were that person, let me know in the comments what you think. I forget the person's name, but kind of got me thinking too, because I've been doing projects lately with using things for corners, creating knotwork for corners. Fix that a little bit. I'm not happy with that. Not happy with that. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. And I probably won't go and do all the shading and stuff today that I usually do, because I'm trying to keep my videos a little bit shorter these days. Got a new phone, but for some reason my cloud is not as cooperative as I'd like it to be. I'm not thrilled about that. All right, let's do a little bit to this one, and then I'll shade in one of these threads just to kind of show you what it looks like. Okay. All right, let's get this. And I'm trying to press real hard so you guys can see. Normally I wouldn't press this hard while I'm still trying to work out my line work, but I'm trying to do it so you guys can see it in the camera. So but normally I would do much lighter lines than this until I get my final version. My last video I broke two pencil points just trying to make sure. Alright, we're almost done here. Alright, now let me see. I don't want to use anything too dark. Alright, let's do this. Alright, do we want the outer one or the inner one? We'll do the outer one in a slightly darker color. Alright, and I'm just doing this so you can see the overs and unders a little bit better, so you can get the full effect of what it's like to do something like this. Kind of took this above and beyond, just making a corner triquetra, didn't I? But this is the fun bit. I'm being sloppy with this because I'm going to blend it, so this will be blended so it'll look better. I just need it to be there so I can have some lead to blend. And I'm going to do a little bit of over and under markings too, so we can when we blend it, and then I'll clean up. It's going to look like a mess for a moment. Bear with me. Ooh, is it hot where you guys are? Let me know in the comments. It has been so hot here. Kind of over the summer. And it's only just begun. Alright. Blendy stomp. Alright, let's start blending this. Yeah, I'm sweating to death here doing this. I'm just hoping my sweaty hands don't smear everything on the page. So let me know in the comments. I'm kind of curious. I'm getting a lot of new followers lately, and I'm curious to know how many of you are new to knot work, and how many of you have been doing it a while and are just looking for like refreshers and other techniques and things like that. I'm just curious to know, because I've been trying to make these simple enough that anybody can follow them. I mean, I've seen other people's techniques and I've read other books and stuff like that, and sometimes they can get really complex in their explanations. And my whole point is to try to break things down into something a little bit, you know, into simple simple pieces that everybody can digest, no matter who you are and no matter where you are on the drawing journey. All right, forgive this, but my hand is smearing the my sweaty hand is smearing the lead. So I'm just going to do this, cover it with a piece of paper, which, by the way, if anybody who draws with pencil or charcoal or anything like that, this is a good tip to use a piece of paper to rest your hand on while you're trying to work in your medium so you don't smear everything. Okay, let's, oops, I forgot this in the middle. All right, let's do these. We're almost done. Bear with me. We are almost done. And this is not going to be a finished work of art by any means. This is just going to be we're going to give these, because we blended everything, I just need to finish it off by redefining all these lines where everything overlapped. So you could see it. And down here, this will be our last one. All right, and there we go. So that's been my tutorial for today to show you. You know, I need to stop. Guys, I need to stop. I can't help myself. I really need to stop. We need to end this video. But let me just do this little bit. There goes my pencil, sticking to my sweaty arm. All right, anyway, you get the idea. So there you go. That was my tutorial for how to create a triquetra using a right angle triangle, which is a 90-degree triangle, and you can go crazy with it. You can do all kinds of different things around it, in it, over it, through it, but that's basically how you do it. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hit subscribe, hit like. I've been getting a lot of new followers. Leave a comment. Let me know where you are in your travels with Celtic knots. And there will be more of these to come. One of the next projects are going to be probably a wood burning session, because I have a Celtic cross that I'm working on. So I'll be doing some wood burning. So it'll be nice to get back to doing that. All right, guys. Have a great day and happy drawing.